It's a bit copied from Overwatch, yeah. Wait, was it Sarah? Oh, let's go.
We're excited to share a first look at a project we're developing at Ubisoft San Francisco. This is our take on a multiplayer first-person shooter.
We need to get you in early and find out what you think.
Our goal is to make a best-in-class shooter for you, the players, to
For me, guys, not for you, for me.
It's fast-paced firefights
Meets punk rock mosh pit.
We're proud to introduce our new game.
Tom Clancy's XDefiant.
XD.
Your feedback is essential to help us make
XD.
this game great.
Later in this video, we'll tell you how to get involved.
But first, we'll get into the action.
This is a free-to-play, high-octane shooter combining realistic gunplay with personalized classes.
Those classes are represented in our game as factions, each bringing unique gameplay and team dynamics. Every faction comes equipped with traits, abilities, and an ultra to complement your playstyle and the faction's role. Used skillfully, each faction is capable of swinging the momentum of a match. Our factions are at the heart of the game.
I like that it's healer and tanks, dude.
From across Tom Clancy's games and beyond. From this inspiration, we created new characters and gameplay unique to our shooter.
I guess they haven't showed a tank yet, but...
And we'll continue to add to this diverse cast as the game evolves.
Now, while factions help you define your role, we know to be a great shooter, the gunplay has to be our top priority.
Yeah. Give recoil,
Have an
please.
ever-growing arsenal of authentic weapons and attachments. We put a lot of care into how our weapons look.
I don't think this game will have much recoil, though.
We crafted every weapon attachment for precise, satisfying gunplay.
Players can mix and match any faction weapon loadout. You can swap at respawn to adapt to a changing battlefield. Personalize your faction and loadout to be what you need when you need it.
And I can't stress this hard enough. We are a shooter first.
And your abilities and ultras create unique opportunities to set up nail-biting shootouts and unforgettable clutch plays. Personalizing classes, guns, and gear in a fast-paced fight is a whole new experience.
Seems to have fast time to kill.
We are super stoked by what we've accomplished so far.
And I couldn't be more proud of our incredible team. We want to personally thank everyone that's worked so hard during the pandemic to keep the momentum going on this game.
It looks pretty good so far, though.
Harder for some of you. We hope that we can build a community that's a place where people can connect.
Looks better than the teasers.
And we're committed to creating a welcoming game based on fair play and transparency, whether you're playing casually or pushing yourself competitively.
Now, the game's still in early development, but we're gearing up to let you in as soon as possible.
Early
So register
development?
right
I don't
now
like that.
to participate in our early rollout phases.
Thank you so much for watching. We really want your input, so please reach out to us on social media.
Man, I think that was it. I don't think they're gonna show more. God damn it. August 5th. That's soon. That was it.
Y'all, you just got the first
nice.
look at Tom Clancy's
More, please.
XDefiant. Players anywhere in the world right now can head to playxdefiant.com to sign up for a chance to play early. And PC players in the US and Canada can start playing as early as August 5th. But until then, we got some more details on the game. I'm joined by two very special guests.
Sign up.
Kim Wigand, producer on Tom Clancy's XDefiant. Kim, how are you?
I'm gonna call
great,
this
thank
game
you.
XD.
And Mark Rubin, executive
40 minutes.
producer on the game. Mark, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So, I want to get into things. I want to get into some of the details because this is a new look for Tom Clancy. Can you tell us a little bit more about this direction?
Yeah,
It seems kind of like...
we wanted to make a game that had at its core a strong expectation of quality around gameplay. Movement, aiming, shooting, etc. All needed to feel grounded and realistic, but also smooth and reactive. And we felt that matched up really well with the Clancy universe.
I think it's gonna be similar, like
but we wanted to
Overwatch, but a
bring
bit faster
very
time to kill,
different
which I
take
like.
on the attitude that is, I would say, normally associated with Clancy. And I think you can even see that in our title. You know, the XDefiant logo is really in a kind of irreverent and rebellious take that we think flips the normally serious Clancy vibe.
So tell us a little bit about what kind of game XDefiant is.
At its core, XDefiant is a really fast-paced arena shooter with a reasonably fast time to kill. It should be very familiar to all players of the genre. And so you can, jump in quickly alone or with friends. You can go into it with a very competitive
I don't like the logo and shit,
really test yourself on that front. One of the number one things that I want to say about the team and the game is that we're just here really to make a game that people enjoy playing. And that's it, really. It's literally that simple. We want the beginning of this game's life to be very humble and focus on being transparent with our community and have them be involved in evolving the game. I don't think we want to have any features or parts of the game that we won't talk about with our community. And there's no, maybe the next game will have those improvements, as we want this game to last for years. We are not going to abandon it and go off and make another game after this one launches. We want to be dedicated to our community. We'll make some mistakes.
That sounds confident.
But we hope the community will trust us enough to know that we will always own up to those, and we will always work to fix them as fast
I don't
as
like that
possible.
scope, though.
Because, again, at the end of the day, we just want to build a game and a community that people really want to be a part of.
That's great to hear, Mark. It has me very excited. Now, I want to get a little bit into gameplay, specifically that video we just saw. Kim, we got to look at some factions that are coming to the game. Can you tell us a little bit more about them?
I can. So our factions are class-based gameplay, and we have 4 factions that we're showing off currently. The first is the Wolves from Ghost Recon. This is our tank class, so
I don't think it will be sniper even now
than the other factions, and they have abilities that are shield-based. We also have 2 factions from the Division. The first is the Cleaners, our fire-based high DPS assault class, and we have the Outcasts, which is our healing faction. And finally, we have the Echelon, which is from Splinter Cell. It's our support faction. They are all about hiding information from the enemies and giving more information to your teammates. Now, our factions have some key elements. They have passive traits, they have an ultra, and they have the freedom to choose from a number of different abilities that will change the moment-to-moment gameplay. So on top of all this, we also have Defiants, which are the characters that you can select within those factions. And every Defiant has a set of skins, so you can really customize what your character looks like when you play. Now, all of these, your Defiants, your faction,
I want
abilities,
Black Tusk,
your loadouts,
though.
all of that can be adjusted and changed when you respawn in our game. So you are not committed to a loadout as soon as
Like
you go into a
LMB.
match. You can change it pretty much every time you respawn. Now, this adds a lot of depth to our gameplay, but I should mention that gunplay is still the key. That is what will make or break the win or loss for your match. And I think the final note is we're going to continue to add to this roster of factions, Defiants, abilities, loadouts, and we really want to hear from you all, the people who are going to play our game, what you want to see.
Kim, that's so great to hear. That's awesome. Mark, I want to ask you now, tell us a little bit about the different maps and modes coming to XDefiant.
I can give you some details too. But let me first talk about the maps, because I love what our team has done. I really love our maps. Not only do they play really well, but each map is interesting and full of character.
So much Division vibes, dude.
Really unique and beautiful locations. And I think this is an area where our Snowdrop engine really shines.
So much Division vibes on like every map,
all
dude.
Of the maps for launch and beyond. I think you'll see that we're pulling inspiration from many different games, pretty much in the same way we did with our factions. Now for some details. In the upcoming closed test, we're going to have 10 maps available that will be divided into 7 standard arena maps and 3 linear maps. And then for modes, we'll have 3 different modes for arena maps. That's Domination, Ringleader, and Upload. And then for the linear maps, we have 2 modes, escort and zone control. So we wanted our first modes to be very familiar to people, but also show that we can play with the formulas. And so we picked these modes to give players, a variety of
No, it's
gameplay
not
styles.
Heartland.
So we have a mode for people who like objectives. We have a mode for people who like a TDM style of play. We have a mode for people who want a more competitive, higher risk style of play, as well as the 2 linear modes for people who like a more progression style of gameplay. And it's our hope that at launch, there will be a good amount of variety in both maps and modes. And we plan on bringing new maps and modes on a regular basis throughout the life of the game.
That's awesome. I love everything I'm hearing. You got plenty of diversity in factions, maps, modes, all anchored by good gunplay. That's what I love to hear. Can you tell us a little bit about the team that's making the game?
Like, everything sounds good,
Of course,
though.
I love talking about our development team.
Then how it turns out,
So
it's
we
another
are
story.
led by the Ubisoft San Francisco studio. Mark and I both work at that studio, and we have a team with just incredibly diverse backgrounds and experiences in game development. Now, we've built this team of industry veterans, and we have a lot of experience in making first-person shooters. But on top of that, we have a number of production processes that are helping us get this game to a point that we're really proud of. So we have things like feedback loops and iterations that we do very quickly. We play our game every single day, and it is so fun. And it's just helping us find the fun and really emphasize that as we develop this game. Now, I will give a shout out. We have teams all around the world. It's not just Ubisoft San Francisco. We have tons of other studios helping us out. And a big thank you to them. We could not get this far without you guys. And
I saw somewhere that they
love
had a
the
guy
journey so
from
far, and
Infinity
we're really
Ward.
excited to see where this goes moving forward. So
Nelson with
really
the
hard on
44
this
months,
game.
dude. Thank you so
We're
much
really
for
proud
the
of it.
44
We think
months.
it's really
How you doing,
special
man?
in the first-person shooter genre, and we can't wait to continue building it with you all.
Oh, that's awesome. I personally know I can't wait to get my hands on it. And if you can't wait to get your hands on it either, you can head to playxdefiant.com and register for a chance to play early. The first closed test takes place August 5th and is open to PC players in the US and Canada. And they're
Not that
right
many people
now,
watching, huh?
register to play.
They're not gonna show more, huh? Yeah, August 5th is pretty close. To be fair. I mean, I think it looked pretty good, though. I don't know, me personally, when it, like, it's similar to, like, Overwatch, Valorant, CS, COD, right? Like, I like big battles, you know? Like, not 5v5 all the time. And this is obviously, like, a typical game like that, I think. So I assume this game is gonna have, like, matchmaking with the ranking and all that, like Valorant and all. Which could be fun.
The action.
It looks pretty good, though. It does look a little bit slow, but I think that could be because of the feel of view. Like the movement. But let's watch it again.
But first, we'll get into the action.
This is a free-to-play, high-octane shooter combining realistic gunplay with personalized classes.
Those classes are represented in our game as factions, each bringing unique gameplay and team dynamics. Every faction comes equipped with...
But I think also, like, wolves are gonna be tanks, right? Or was it outcast, healing, cleaners, assault? So I think it's gonna be role-based like Overwatch, right? Which is kind of cool. But with a faster time to kill, I think, than Overwatch. And there's not too many games that have it like that, right? Like healers, tanks, damage. Which is something I want in shooter. Which is something like Division 1 had, right? Like roles,
traits,
which is cool.
abilities, and an ultra to complement your playstyle and the faction's role. Used skillfully,
Like the slide there looked pretty good.
those classes are represented in our game as factions.
I mean, it makes sense that Ubisoft like makes a game like this because they don't have a game like this, right? They have Siege. That's about it.
Each bringing unique gameplay and team dynamics. Every faction comes equipped with traits, abilities, and an ultra to complement your playstyle and the faction's role. Used skillfully,
Like, how fast didn't the time to kill look there? It looked super fast.
Faction comes equipped
They
with
could have been
traits,
low HP though,
abilities,
but
and an ultra to complement your playstyle and the faction's role. Used skillfully, each faction is capable of swinging the momentum of a match. Our factions are at the heart of the game. They're inspired by maverick groups from across Tom Clancy's games and beyond. From this inspiration, we created new characters and gameplay unique to our shooter. And will continue to add to this diverse cast as the game evolves.
Now, while factions help you define your role, we know to be a
Nah,
great
it's not
shooter,
Heartland.
the gunplay has to be our top priority. We have an ever-growing arsenal of authentic weapons and
I mean, time to kill, they can always change, especially in a game like this. And this is only a PvP game, right? So, I mean, balancing should be a bit easier.
attachments. We put a lot of care into how our weapons look and feel. We've crafted every weapon attachment for precise.
I mean, looking at it like that, it looks like Call of Duty, dude. And then you add in like the skills and stuff.
Our weapons look and feel. We've crafted every weapon attachment for precise satisfaction.
I just hope that they also have like 10v10 maps and stuff like that. Because only playing like 5v5, it's gonna get stale, I think. And I hate the scope on this one.
Players can mix and match any faction and weapon loadout. You can swap at respawn to adapt to a changing battlefield. Personalize your faction and loadout to be what you need when you need it.
And I can't stress this hard enough. We are a shooter first.
This game is more like CS, Valorant, Overwatch, like COD. And this game being free to play as well. Call of Duty is not free to play unless like Warzone. Overwatch is not free to play. Like the fact that the game is free to play is gonna, like, that's a big deal. No, is Valorant free to play? I don't remember. Maybe it is. Is Valorant free to play? Oh, it is? Oh shit, I didn't know. I mean, CSGO is, yeah. I guess COD is not free to play.
And your abilities and ultras create unique opportunities to set up nail-biting shootouts and unforgettable clutch plays. Personalizing classes, guns, and gear in a fast-paced fight is a whole new experience in Tom Clancy gaming.
Just remember how many people shit on like Valorant when that came out.
We really want your input, so please reach out to us on social media.